Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Let me tell y'all something. Based on the previews for this season is going to be a doozy. Okay? And y'all need to come back and start watching Married at First Sight. Okay, because these couples are something else. Okay, they are something else. David and Michelle. So y'all remember last week the weddings were about to end and David and Michelle were the last to get hitched. So it's their wedding day. Time for Michelle to get on down the aisle. Okay, ease on down the road. Come on, girl, get on down the aisle. Everything is happening. Everyone's standing and waiting. And then Michelle enters. Now, he did call her beautiful. But that's because he is enamored with all things blonde hair. Okay. So when I saw her come down the aisle and him say she was beautiful, I was like, oh, okay. So maybe they're not the couple that swaps. Just hold that thought. Now, Michelle seemed to be pleased with him as well. We hear from Michelle's family and friends. She's sweet. She's sincere. She loves to chill. And she marches to the beat of her own drum. She likes to chill at home with her 3 animals. Now on to David. Okay. His family said, family means everything to him. He's loyal to his family. He definitely loyal to that basement. He's loyal to his family. He's a mama's boy. And y'all see that play out a little bit later. They said, even though he looks like a caveman, he's a gentle giant. Now, who wrote that he looks like a caveman? Okay. So then they read their vows to each other. They say, I do. And now they are pronounced Ponytail and Michelle. Child, Bun and Michelle, honey. So then they kiss. Now, David was the only one that just went for the kiss without asking. Everybody else was like, do you mind if I kiss you? Is that okay? Not David. He was just mauling her to death. So they go out to talk to each other and they're doing a toast. So he's saying to her, he feels like he hit the jackpot. She is asking him if he had a vision of what she looked like. He said, yeah, and they nailed it. The blonde hair, the dark blue eyes. David is going to say blonde hair 11 times throughout this episode. He doesn't care as long as the hair is blonde. So David tells her it's his birthday. And she's like, oh, happy birthday. Now, that's going to be quite the time to celebrate each year. If I thought these people were going to stay together, but I know that they probably will not. I wouldn't personally want to do that because if things go left, I do not want to associate this day with my day of birth. Child, please. Absolutely not. Moving forward. So they're sitting, they're talking, they're discussing about them not drinking when they are at home, but they drink socially. And so he just comes out and tells her, I smoke cigarettes. Okay, yuck. And he lives at home. Double yuck. Michelle is probably thinking, now what did I do to deserve this? Oh, Michelle. Oh, girl. She said, well, wow, crazy. The way that I was laughing so hard at that because she was so stumped. She really didn't know how to respond to him being a chain smoking basement dweller. She had no idea Ponytail was down in that basement. Now he claims that he converted something into a 2,500 square feet apartment, but he didn't want it because it was too big for just him. So he went ahead and sold it and moved back in with his parents. Now, I personally need to see the contract because I'm not buying it. And nobody else bought it either because it probably was not for sale. And he ain't fooling me. She looked so disappointed. Girl, you are about to move on down to the basement. You just got yourself a chain smoking caveman. Baby, this is a mess. Poor Michelle, she really did seem concerned about all of the revelations 10 minutes after saying I do. I said, not him just throwing all of this in her lap. Child, at least get to know her a little bit. And see, that's the thing that pissed me off about David as I watched this episode. David did not care about getting to know Michelle. He just cared that her hair is blonde. That's it. Now it's time for pictures and the reception. Carla and Juan. So they're taking their pictures and they do look so nice together. I'm not gonna lie. They really make a nice looking couple. He's asking about her mom. He's like, is your mom and your dad, are they here? Carla's telling him neither one are there. Her dad is always in the background. He doesn't like the cameras. This is not his thing. Okay. And the mom is staying back to support the dad. And again, I will say there is no way that I'm not going to go and support my daughter. Now, I know she was over celebrating the grandmother's birthday or whatever, but the reason she is not here out of Carla's mouth is because she is supporting her husband. So his parents took to her right away. She went over there. She started talking to them. She looks beautiful next to his family in these pictures. Like, she really does. I just wish that her parents were there as well. I hope Carla don't scare him off, child, because she gonna be a lot. Madison and Alan. So they're taking their pictures and she said she was happy, but then she goes immediately into saying, he's not my typical type. Uh-oh. Every time they start saying that, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a fool. Because how can you start out with, I'm so happy. Okay, so I really like someone with more of an athletic build. Oh, child, don't let Gina hear that. Y'all remember when Clint told Gina? Oh, child. Y'all remember when Gina had made fun of Clint because his hair was red and she was saying stuff about him, and then he turned around and said he liked a more athletic build, and baby, what he say that for? Baby, Gina was pissed. Gina wanted to dye his hair while he was asleep, because y'all know all she did was talk about that salon. Shout out to Gina and Clint. What an unfortunate turn of events, child. So anywho, Alan has no complaints. Zero, zilch, nada. A side note, I have to say this. All the couples this season look like they fit together. You know how some seasons it's like, how did y'all get together? Y'all don't even look right. Like O'Lion. Y'all remember O'Lion from last season? And I know it's Orion, but y'all remember him from last season. He didn't look like he fit nowhere. This season, everybody seems to be aesthetically pleasing together. So they're all walking into their receptions. And I did love how Juan and Carla entered. They had a lot of pizzazz. They were dancing and whatnot. It was a good old time. David and Michelle. So they're sharing their first dance, and he's asking what she thought as she was walking down the aisle, right? She said that he looked like a genie. I mean, it was giving Shazam. I don't know. He did. He had that top knot going. So he definitely looked like a genie. Then she asked the same question, and he keeps mentioning her blonde hair. When I saw the blonde hair, I was good, just as long as you have the blonde hair. I don't like that. I do not like how he keeps mentioning that blonde hair. That's all he's focused on. Y'all could have literally matched him with a potato as long as the potato was wearing a blonde damn wig. It doesn't make any sense. Now, she said in her interview, she doesn't like the fact that he lives with his parents, but she's going to try not to focus on it and try to get out of her head about it. It is quite all right for you to be focused on the fact that he lives with his parents and he's sitting here skinning and grinning in your face and has taken you as a wife. That's normal. Now, at a certain age, you just got to keep it real. Now, I don't know if everybody else thinks it's normal for her to feel that way, but I definitely think that it's normal for her to feel that way. Thomas and Camille. So they're dancing. They're doing their first dance. He's telling her that she's his usual type, the type that he goes for. He was hoping that she had a good personality. I said, not Mr. No Personality, worried about her having one. Child. Now, Camille seems extra sweet. Now, she did say that he feels like someone she can be safe with. Okay, girl, let's get to know him first. We don't know nothing about him except he's sleepy time. What do you mean? He feels like someone you can be safe with. She said all of the sweet things that he's been saying has warmed her heart, and he's helped her to let her guard down a little. Camille. I'm really trying to be optimistic, honey. It's been all of 5 minutes. Okay, but you know what? You really want a marriage. You really want it to work. Chamomile tea. I want to see y'all's marriage last. So at this moment, as I'm watching this, let's just hope it's okay. She looked a little bit uncomfortable in the face, but she was saying otherwise. Now, to me, she looked uncomfortable, but she was saying that she was. So I'm confused. Carla and Juan. So both of them are faking it. He don't really seem like he really wants to kiss her for real, but they keep ringing them dang bells and clanking them forks up against that glass. So they keep kissing every 2 seconds. Really perched, okay? The lips are pierced together. It's giving nothing. Moving forward. So they're talking and he's telling her that his family lives in North Carolina and he moved to Chicago by himself. They start talking about their day to day. He's super routine and she can make her own hours. He's telling her about an app that he created for people to connect in the airport because everybody is just on their phones in their own little corners and people are traveling for business. So this app is available, but he's not making money from it yet. Juan, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. That is awesome. But please don't connect me in the airport. Okay, that is one stressful place. I don't want to be connected, especially if you are traveling with a child. The last thing I want to do is connect to Charlene in Terminal C. I don't give a damn. I don't just let me travel in peace, honey. Let me put on my headphones, put them in my ear, act like I don't hear nobody, wear my hoodie, get on this plane at 5 a.m. because it's cheaper, and get to my destination. I don't want to connect with people. I mean, some people like the connection of it all, honey, but I don't want to be bothered. He told her that, it's not making money. And Carla said, I don't really care about money. Money's not a big thing to me. Child, Carla gonna buy a house with Monopoly money and fairy dust. Thomas and Camille. So Chamomile Tea is telling Camille how he eats one thing at a time on his plate. And she said, I do the same thing, so we're going to be good. She asked if he's ever been married. He says, no, but I was in a 9-year relationship. She said, what happened? He said, well, we just grew apart. No, she probably got tired of you playing in her face after 9 years. But okay. Camille is wondering if he was with somebody for 9 years and didn't commit, why is he ready to commit now? I agree, honey. Where's the fire? You weren't ready to commit 9 years ago or when you were in a 9-year relationship, but you're ready now. Now, I could kind of feel her energy shift after that, and I don't blame her. Emem and Ikechi. So they're eating, and he turns to her and he says, so what the hell made you want to do this? Ew, what a way to ask a question. She said, well, I didn't like dating apps and I work a lot. And so I'm just looking for somebody that I can be in a committed relationship with. So when she asked him, he said, well, I've been wanting this for a while. Yeah, we know. You've been chasing these cameras from Houston to Chi-Town. We know. He said, I wrote a book of letters to my wife. This man is here to promote. I don't care what nobody say. The man is there to promote. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. She's asking why he didn't give them to her. She said, why didn't you give those to me? He said, because I'm going to write you a new set. Well, at the party or the bachelor party, you were acting like they were for her. Why would you be writing letters to your wife every single day? And then when you get said wife, you going to write her new letters? What? She's asking if she was his type. Now, y'all get this. She said, am I your type? Baby, he know he can talk his way around something. He going to say, you're definitely beautiful, but I don't have a type. But I'm going to say this. My type is a black woman. So, no, I don't have a type. But when people ask me what my type is, I say Kelly Rowland, Michelle Obama. Sir, cut the crap. Okay, now she is giving Michelle Obama tease, but please cut the crap. Ikechi does not like Emem. He's there for clout. And she just smiling, talking about, oh, yeah, I like that. I like a black woman. I like that. Emem, he didn't answer you, honey. You are a nurse practitioner. It's getting scary. Okay, it's getting scary. Because if you didn't pick up the fact that he didn't really answer your question, you asked him if you were his type, not Michelle Obama and Kelly Rowland. That ain't making no sense to me. So then as they're sitting there, they're like, can you guys please come to the dance floor? She doesn't know what's going on, but he does. And as I'm watching this, I said, oh, he done promised to put all his people on. Everybody that he know gonna be on camera. They got up and he gives this speech. Now he starts speaking his speech. But as I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, no, Ikechi didn't have a special performance. What? He gives this speech about these people being his favorite musical people. And I'm like, okay, so you are making sure that he gets to sing on TV and you ain't fooling me. So the man starts serenading the crowd. Now, I will say this. The song was beautiful. His voice was beautiful. It was great. Now, I thought they were going to start dancing, but he just stood there gazing at the singer. I said, baby, are you with the singer or are you with him? Child, please. I don't. This is a mess. This is just a mess. Ikechi, quit playing on this here TV now. Quit it. And Emem was just eating it all up. Her beautiful pearly whites just a showing, just smiling. I'm not buying it. Ikechi is putting on a show talking about wife. Listen to me. In his best Barry White voice. Oh, sir, I'm not about to play with you. Goodbye and good night. Moving forward. Side note, Married at First Sight, y'all did good getting the weddings out the way, but we really don't need these receptions. I don't feel like we need them. Let's just get to it, okay? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Madison and Alan. So they're sitting with each other's people because now it's time to get to know them. She's telling his groomsmen that she's so happy and she loves the little things that he does for her, like pulling the chair out and asking to kiss her. Madison, it's giving pageant answers. How do you feel for real? So then one of his groomsmen asks what she wants. This woman starts to say, physical is good. Like, you need to be physically attracted to someone, but I can think about getting that in other ways. Basically, I'm not attracted to your boy, but if he gonna keep pulling out the chair and whatnot, I'm gonna find a way to deal with it. What? She said, start saying this about physical attraction and how it comes in different forms. She wants a man that doesn't just look at her for her looks, because she knows that she's beautiful. But it took her a while to get to her beauty. She wants someone to look at her soul. Okay, so let me get this straight. She doesn't think that he's cute, but she likes that he's nice, because the fine ones lose their damn minds. Okay, the F in fine stands for F-boy. That's what I'm getting from Madison. Over with Alan. Now, y'all listen to this, because, baby, Alan, you are not exempt. Okay, I'm watching you. People don't be paying attention, but I listen to a whole lot of detail. Over with Alan, he's telling her bridesmaids that he was in a serious relationship that ended a year and a half ago. Baby, are you even healed? Is she still playing on your phone? Does she still have your social media? Is she in your DMs today? Does she think that you guys are still together? Like, well, I need to know these things. I really do. He thought that he was going to marry her. So obviously the relationship was very serious, right? But he said he was treated like crap. She would ask for receipts of him getting gas if he was 9 minutes late. Now, they skipped on past it. The bridesmaids were not doing their job. They skipped on past it like they didn't even hear that Alan said that. But for me, an alarm went off. Because don't skip over that. Why did she act that way? Why would I just randomly look at Alan and say, you're 9 minutes late, let me see your receipt? Nah, honey. Something must have went on. I need to know more. I need her to come forward, y'all, because it's not sounding right. David and Michelle. So her bridesmaids are telling him that he checks all of the boxes look-wise. Everything that she wants look-wise, you're it. Michelle don't care nothing about them looks. Okay, after hearing that he be down in that basement, she don't give a damn. So she's over there talking to his parents. She said, yeah, I just did this because, nothing else was working out. And I figured if I'm sick, I go to a doctor. If I need mental health, I'll go to a therapist. So why not go to the experts? So then his mom said, well, is there anything that you want to know? Michelle said, yeah. I want to know why y'all are roommates. And are you okay with it? Now, mom is giving a totally different story than David. Okay, she said it's because they need him to do things around the house. Ma'am, say what? You need him to do things around the house so he's a live-in maintenance man? Now, she did say that he can do what he wants to do for himself. And he could get out there, but he's just not out there and their door is always open. Now, the way that daddy was looking at the mama, he was looking at her like, now you don't even believe that. Y'all gotta watch it. Baby, that daddy was telling everything with his facial expressions. He knew that mama was a lie. So then she brings up him smoking cigarettes. His mom says, well, he just does it socially. Girl, what in the after school special is going on here? Here, David, want a cig? No, he's too damn old to be smoking socially. Nobody can coerce you and peer pressure you into smoking socially. But this is what made it worse. His mom then says that the dad doesn't like that David smokes. And she's a cancer survivor and she used to smoke as well. Mom, why are you making so many excuses for him? Madison, girl, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Run far and fast, because this is what this is telling me. No matter what happens in your marriage, even if he's wrong, his mama will find a way to blame you. So if I were you, I would unpoof that hair, slick it back in a ponytail, put on my sweats and some Nikes and just do it. Baby, I would be gone. There's no way. If you are a cancer survivor and you know how detrimental it is for his lungs and his health for him to be smoking, and then you make an excuse and say, well, he's a social smoker. It's giving enabler. Over with David. He done untucked that bun, and the bridesmaids are asking if he was ready for real. Like, are you really ready to do this? They asked him how he's going to come back from their biggest fights. He said, I'm going to listen, I'm going to have communication, and I'm going to compromise. They're telling him, well, she's not always open to being vulnerable. And she has very high standards for herself and others. Juan and Carla. So he's talking to her sister and her brother-in-law, and she's talking to his groomsmen. They're asking what she thought about Juan. She said, he's chill like me. Girl, I don't know about you being chill, but okay. Carla starts talking about floating in the clouds and not having a plan. His brother said, oh, okay, well, he definitely needs a plan. Yes, because Carla's so free, child. She probably even realized she getting married. Juan is telling them that he feels ready, more ready than he did in his 20s. Back over with Carla, they're asking what she needs to change about herself. She said, I feel like I'm just very blunt and I need to work on my approach and being softer. Oh, okay. So she getting ready to talk crazy to him. That's what that tells me. Camille and Thomas. So she's talking to his brother and his groomsmen. His brother is telling her that that's his best friend and he wants to know how she feels about doing things as a family. She said, I need that. I need for families to be involved. That's right up my alley. I'm good with that. He's over there telling her bridesmaids about his 9-year relationship. We find out that chamomile tea was a cheater, pumpkin eater. So you sat right there and you lied to Camille in her face, looking sleepy. You told her that y'all grew apart. Oh, okay, chamomile tea. So it might be you. It's going to be you and David. Either way it go, David, you're in it. I hate to do you like that. David, you're in it, honey. You're in it to win it. And Thomas, why would you tell them this before you tell Camille? That just didn't make sense to me. Then he gonna say, I mean, it was a really tough time for me. I bet it was. How tough do you think it was for her to be cheated on? The cheaters trip me out. They do the cheating and then want somebody to throw them a pity party. Sir, what? So come on, I went to therapy for 6 months to try to figure out, like, why did I do that? No, sir. 6 months of seeing the lady is not going to cure you. Did you talk about that little iron problem as well? Okay. Like, what is happening? And side note, this has nothing to do with anything. Camille's bridesmaids were tat it up, tat it up. When I say they had tattoos everywhere, pretty ladies, but they had some art. Okay. That's neither here nor there. That's the side note. Back over with Camille. She's bringing up the 9-year relationship as well and him not wanting to commit to it. She wants to know, does he have commitment issues? His brother said, well, he just got stuck in something that he really didn't want to be in and he stayed and he just felt like he couldn't hit the eject button. Sir, did you answer the question? Does he have commitment issues or not? The way that the friend was looking at the brother, oh, he knows something. So then his brother's advice to her, because Thomas is closed off. He said, listen, my advice for you is for you to open him up. No, sir. Why does she have to work to open him up? That's what that 6-month therapy should have taught him. I'm not going to sit up here and try to open him up, baby. If you closed, you're going to stay closed. And that's just that on that. Now, her friends are over there and they want to know, how are you going to navigate this short time? It's only 8 weeks. He said that he basically stayed with his ex because of the time. Okay. He blamed it on them being young. That's the go-to. We were young. I'm sure you were. She's back over there asking his groomsmen if they think that he's ready. Now, of course, they gonna say yes. So he ain't never talked about nobody the way he talk about you. That's like a universal line. Oh, I know my boy happy because he ain't child. The amount of times that I have heard he ain't never talked about. I could write a book. If I had $1 for every time that I've heard that, I wouldn't be doing these reviews, child. Not for money. I would be doing them for fun. Camille then says, well, I just feel like he's really taking this seriously and this just won't be a phase for him. How did you come to that conclusion, Camille, after one dance and one plate of risotto? How did you come to that conclusion? Camille, they want you to fix this man. Plus, he's telling the bridesmaids things that he did not even share with you. Married at first sight, don't piss me off. Because why did y'all match Camille with old cheating chamomile tea? He's sleepy and he cheat? Oh, absolutely not. Emim and Ikechi. So she's over there skinning and grinning. My man, honey. She's so happy with the groomsmen. They want to know, why did you do this? She said, I'm career driven. I own my own practice. But now I want commitment and I want to share my life with someone because these men that I'm meeting, they do not want to commit. So then his friend started spilling a little tea that Ikechi got cheated on and got his heart broken. So he's used to not being so vulnerable. And he was in his head like, I'm never getting married. I'm never getting another relationship. Oh, Lord. Y'all sure he really ready to let somebody in? I hope he doesn't shut her out thinking that she's his ex. And I hope that he's not trying to make somebody feel what he felt. Because I know it might sound corny, but it's true that hurt people really do hurt people. So don't be bringing that over here and dropping it off with Emem, because she ain't do it to you. Moving forward. Over with Ikechi, baby. This part right here was so good to me. Ikechi is talking to Emem's cousin, right? Ikechi is telling her cousin that his last serious relationship was 12 years ago. He said, okay, so in 12 years, you haven't dealt with a woman? I know that's right, honey, because let's get into it if we gonna get into it. He says, yeah, I have, but it hasn't gone past a certain point. So then he turns right around. Now, mind y'all, he just said it hasn't gotten to past a certain point. He turns right around and then says that he was engaged in his 20s. So if I'm not mistaken, if somebody asks you to marry them, that will be considered pretty serious, correct? So then he's asking what the last relationship was and how long did it last. He said the last relationship lasted about 6 or 7 months. So who is the relationship where you were cheating, where the person was cheating on you? Like, when did that take place? Like, I don't know. Was that the fiance? I'm so confused. The timeline ain't making no sense to me. He said it ended because they didn't want what he wanted. He wanted kids. They didn't. This, that, and this and that. And at 41, he's willing to take even one child. Okay. He just wants a baby. Then the cousin wanted to know about him staying in Chicago. He said, you said you were from Houston. Now you're in Chicago. Her family is here. So are you going to just try to uproot her and move? Do you plan on staying here? Now, Ikechi did say that he thought about buying a house there. You thought about buying a house there. Are you going to stay there or are you going back to Houston? So the cousin says to him, well, I mean, on paper, you seem like an eligible bachelor, but what makes you ready now? And what's going to make her the one and keep her the one? Now, the cousin is really challenging him. I need him to vet my potential, Sonny, because the way he did it, he was not playing. There was no smirk. There was only seriousness. Like, find out and play if you want to. Ikechi said, you know, with an open mind and an open heart, I'm going to be ready. But what I know is that she's dope, because if she wasn't, then you wouldn't be here grilling me. And I can't promise that it's going to be the best ever, but I can promise that she'll be safe. And I'm going to make sure that she's good. Baby, he told Ikechi, yeah, sounds good. You got the right words, but I don't know you. You could say one thing and then do another. Yes, Ikechi thought he was going to use all that word salad on that cousin. And that cousin said, not today, buddy. Baby, that cousin was playing with him. He said the vows were great. Sounds good. But I just hope that you're ready. So when he got his own interview, her cousin said at the end of the day, he's a man. Okay, you said you had a house in Houston. Why are you in Chicago? What are you running from? Are you running from something? No, he's running to something. He's chasing them cameras. His mention about the book, him flying in his friends so he could serenade the crowd, but not looking at Emem once, that had nothing to do with her. That was all self-promotion, and he ain't fooling me. You wrote an entire book to your future wife, but you didn't gift your future wife the book that you've been writing to said wife. Ikechi gone, sir. Gone. He said, yeah, at the end of the day, that's her husband, but to me, he's a stranger. So it's all a big question mark. He told him that he needs to see how he treats her before he lets him in. Every girl needs a cousin like him. He might be my favorite Married at First Sight relative in the history of this show. I actually need him to co-host the after party with Keisha. Scooch on over, Rudy, because we need we need that cousin on the case. He was asking all the right questions with a straight face. Them little poems ain't moving him. Okay, he don't care about nothing but Emem, as he should. He know the game. So Ikechi ain't gonna be able to play in his face. Ikechi probably was like, yeah, we got to get out of Chicago, honey, because I gotta get away from this cousin. So the receptions are underway, y'all. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's laughing and they're dancing. And then there's Camille and Thomas. So she's telling her bridesmaids that his core values are amazing. Baby, the friend said, okay. Y'all share the core values and whatnot. They aligned. But girl, he admitted that he's a cheater. And that's a deal breaker for you. Camille already trying to find an excuse for him, talking about, well, was that in the heart of the relationship? Girl, I don't care if it was in the heart or the eye or the feet or the fingernails of the relationship. He still cheated. Is it a deal breaker for you or no? You've seen him. You're attracted to him. And so now, was that in the heart of the relationship? Does it matter? It still happened. So then the one friend, she brought up therapy. Because, you know, that's the buzzword these days. She's like, yeah, well, he did say he went to therapy to work through why he did that. And that was so long ago. See, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Absolutely not, girl. Anyway, I just hope that Camille knows what she's doing, because she didn't even ask why he didn't tell her instead of telling them. She just wants to be married by any means necessary. Madison and Alan. So her bridesmaids are telling her that he had a toxic relationship and he has family trauma. He was in a custody case for 14 years. 14 years? Child, at that point, he can make his own decision. He ready to drive a car. They're like, yeah, and you have your own family trauma. She said, see, he didn't tell me that, and I like that he told y'all because he didn't want a trauma bond. Girl, unless you're his abuser, there's no trauma bonding. Yeah, please stop using that word incorrectly. That has nothing to do with nothing. Him telling you about what he went through, that would not be a trauma bond. Now, what he was trying to do was garner sympathy. And at first, I fell for it until he stated that she would ask for receipts if he were 9 minutes late. So that says to me that he probably cheated in his relationship and she stopped trusting him. So now everything you do, I'm suspicious. Why did it take you so long? See, Alan think he's slick, but he ain't fooling me. Okay, because I'm watching. I am watching. She's like, I'm on cloud 9 right now. Girl, that's all that alcohol. Baby, she was loose as a goose. Michelle and David. So she's talking to her bridesmaids and they said, girl, it's so nice that he wants to be committed. We love that. She said, yeah, I see why we were matched. It's just the small things. They said, oh, okay, so do you feel like this can last? So then she starts getting really emotional because everybody else saying, my man, my man, my man. Meanwhile, Michelle is like, he is in the basement. I hate this. I want to go home, honey. I need to click my heels 3 times and be back at the house. So she gets really emotional because he's happy and she's not. So they ask her to go to the restroom, so the family won't see her crying and whatnot. She's telling them, girl, he lives with his parents. So she's legit breaking down. Meanwhile, he's over there looking for his wife. Where's my wife? Where's my wife? I said, oh, child. While you over there asking, where's my wife? She's in the restroom about to flush herself down the damn toilet to get away from you. Now, listen, I know people can say this can be changed. I know there are going to be some people that say that this can be changed. This is very true. But there is no reason that he should have applied for this show, living in the basement, for whatever reason. Him and his enabler, his beautiful mom, they can't even get the story straight as to why he is in the basement. So for me, it's sounding like a lie. Now I understand why she's in her head about it, because at his big grown age, no ma'am. Then the man bun, them calling him a caveman. He smokes Benson and Hedges menthol lights. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the friend is in the restroom trying to get Michelle to at least find out the story before she judges. She's like, they're a strong family. They stick together. Like, find out the story first. Who are these friends? Because I would have said, girl, what? He in his basement? Oh, girl, we're going to have to get you out of here. I'm going to slide you out the back. And then you can't tell me no stuff like that. Because if you do, I'm going to find us an exit. Child, we'll be on the I-10 by 10. You hear me? Moving forward. So she goes back out, puts on a brave face, and told him that she had a moment because she's tired. Now, to add insult to injury, now her nerves are already bad. His family gifted him a box of hot Cheetos. I was screaming. The way that I laughed so loud when I saw them pass out that box of Frito-Lay goodies, baby, I was in here hollering, Michelle, I feel like you may be owed compensation. Girl, oh my goodness. I can hear Pastor Calvin now. Michelle was matched with David because although David is in the basement, Michelle will be the base of this relationship. Pastor Calvin, please. Pastor Calvin, please. Oh my goodness. This is a fool. Okay, the receptions are over. It's time to get to the suite full of roses so they can act shy and help the ladies unzip their dresses. So they get to the room, right? All the receptions are over. Everybody's done their exit. Camille is the only one that was carried over the threshold. So 1 point for chamomile tea. I'm surprised that Ikechi didn't have one of his friends doing spoken word and snapping their damn fingers as him and Emin walked through the door. I was like, not you ain't having another surprise for her. Okay, child. David and Michelle. So they're in the room. Michelle's still in her head because what? So he said, yeah, today was great. Yes, it was, David. Yes, it was. Michelle said, yeah, it's just going to take me a little time to adjust. She was honest with him and told him that hearing that he lived in his parents' basement kind of threw her off a little bit. Now, he did say that he told her so nobody else could tell her. And he said he lives down there because he wants to, not because he has to. I mean, at least he was upfront, but I think her response was valid. He really isn't saying anything reassuring, if you ask me, because the mama said she's staying there to put light bulbs up or whatever. And then you're saying you're staying there because the 2,500 square foot place was just too lonely. I don't know. It's all looking like a lie, child. But she just sat there and smiled, honey, but she's miserable. Madison and Alan. Madison was tipsy, baby. When I tell y'all those eyes were low, them eyes were low, 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 low. Baby, them eyes was low. I see how she got kicked out of Oktoberfest. Every lady was taking them dresses off. Y'all know how they like to do. We know Emim can't wait to settle in, okay? She ready to do it right then and there. Carla and Juan. So Carla lets us know that she usually sleeps naked, but she's going to keep her clothes on and keep it PG for the first night with her new hubby. Girl, we appreciate you, okay? I don't want to see your lady bits. Thank you so much. Moving forward. So they do a little toast. Juan pulls out the guitar and decides to play and sing a little ditty. Oh, okay, then you and Ikecha, y'all need to start a band. You can play the guitar and he can rap his poems. That's what y'all need to do. Then we find out that they both sleep naked. Juan, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Please don't ever fix your lips to sing again. When I say never, I do mean never. You can dance, you can play your guitar, but please stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Please don't go chasing waterfalls. I don't want to hear you sing, not now, another time. I don't want it. Camille and Thomas. So she's ready for bed with her silk pillowcase. Honey, I know that's right. I changed everything in the hotel room, including the sheets. David and Michelle. David done took that hair down. They're ready for bed. He has beautiful hair. It's just all over the place. Madison and Alan. Alan, what are these little drawers you wearing? Okay, they had a little broccoli on them. He ain't shame, I tell you that. I said, baby, not these little broccoli drawers. Alan ready to consummate that marriage, baby. He got up under Madison, knowing she tipsy. He said, when are they getting the hell out? And that was the end of the episode. But baby, we are getting down to that honeymoon next episode. 2 whole hours of the honeymoon. Y'all come back. Watch the show. I need y'all to watch it so that you can interact with me on our lives. Because if I'm the only one watching it, then y'all gonna be like, Misha, what the hell's going on? And then I'm gonna have to go into a whole lot of detail. And I don't really want to do that because I already go into a whole lot of detail over here. This is the 40-minute review. So I need y'all to watch the show. Either way, y'all come back over here. Comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. If you happen to watch, and I will comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.